Thank you. Well, anyways, for us, I mean, Martin is a very close friend of ours, and we think he really deserves it, and we're really proud of what he achieved. So for us, it's nothing but love. You know, we're really, really proud of him. And yeah, and for us, I mean, being number two, 2 years ago, we were ecstatic with being number two. We were even crazy happy when once we entered the top 100. So being number two is perfect. We're more than happy.
I want you to be my friend.
I mean, love it or hate it. I mean, certain DJs take it in account. Some DJs promote for it, others don't. Some are against it, others are pro. The only thing that I personally see what it is, it's a popularity contest. It's not a skill contest. It's not a production contest. It's not a DJing contest. It's purely who has the most fans who are willing to take the time, because it is a pretty time robbing process. It's not like one click. You have to go to Facebook, log in, fill in the whole stuff. You know how people are these days. If you take 2 minutes of their internet time, it's already a lot of effort. So this is at least 5 minutes. So at the end of the day, it's the DJ who has the most fans dedicated enough to spend time and vote for him. That's it. No more, no less. So if people want to make a big deal about it, that's their thing. I mean, I respect everybody's opinion, but for me, it's clear what it is, a popularity contest. If I could change one thing, I mean, one thing that I find a little bit trickier, that wasn't like that a couple of years ago, was that the radios were a little bit more receptive to club music. Not to electronic music, but to club music. Like we had a couple of songs like The Hum and Tremor, who started on the festivals and in the clubs, and actually ended up on the mainstream radio. Now you can see that radios again are a little bit more stepping away from the festival sound. They're still receptive to electronic music. For example, Chainsmokers is a perfect example that you can still have a huge electronic hit. But I liked the time also when let's say the new Swedish House Mafia was playing on the radio, but also playing on the festivals. On the other hand, it's also a cool challenge now for people to get into different directions and also play different stuff in their sets. But I like that time. Well, for me, it's been a journey of already 20 years, and I enjoy every moment. And it's a roller coaster, and it's everything a little bit about it that counts. Everybody does it in his own way, and people like to pick up on, he bought a big house or he bought a big car. We know the Chainsmokers guys, and they're very down to earth, relaxed guys. So whatever they did was with good sense. It's not crazy money throwing. So I think it's important to enjoy all aspects. The biggest hit for me, I think I would have to say, I think Chainsmokers Don't Let Me Down is for me a very interesting one, because it's not a radio track. It is a pretty hard track. It's very trappy. The drop is pretty nasty, and it managed to cross over like crazy. So for me, that's probably the win of the year. Well, I mean, the good thing about being in the studio with other DJs is everybody has his own way of working. Different software, different sounds, different starting points. So being together with other creative people in the studio always brings out crazy ideas. That's why I like it so much. Well, we already worked with Diplo on two songs before. We did a very hard track called Destruction a couple of years ago, which we never released. And we did another track with him a couple of years ago. And we just yeah, we kept seeing each other all over the world. And last year in Ibiza, we were like, you know what, let's do something fresh together, you know, and that's Hey Baby. Well, of course, Hey Baby is the priority. We have a new compilation of Bringing the Madness, which is going to be released very soon. Apart from that, we sort of shelved the album idea a little bit because we felt the time was not really there for an album. But instead, we decided to release more music, release more singles, and give away a lot of music for free. So if people go to soundofmadness.com, on that website, people can download an album worth of free music, like collaborations with Blaster Jacks, Umed Oskan, Rhodes with Dennis Koyu. Just go there and they can download it for free. That's great to hear. I mean, for us, Mexico has always been a fan base and a crowd and a country that's been really good for us since the very beginning. We started touring here so many years ago, and we started in smaller venues, smaller clubs, and now we're doing all these crazy big shows, and it's such a loving crowd and such an amazing crowd, so it's always great to be back here.